now that I've got your attention, first graders, I wanted to tell you that this week we're going to be working on value sharks. And so if you don't remember hearing the word value, value is how light or dark something is, and you can use it in artwork. Right now I'm going to practice by making a value scale. You could do this on any piece of scrap paper. It usually doesn't work very well with marker because you can't change how hard you're pressing on that. You need to be using a crayon or a pencil. I've got a silver or gray crayon right here. So when I'm down on this end, I'm acting like there's just a tiny little ant crawling on my hand. I'm barely pressing at all. Then as I start to get towards the middle of my paper, oh, it's like maybe a dog is pressing its paw on my hand and pressing harder and harder. As I get over to this side, oh, an elephant just started sitting on my hand. You don't need to press so hard that you break your crayon. But now your value scale goes from light to dark. Now that we have a value scale, we need a shark to put the value in. When we draw our shark, we're going to be drawing it from this angle. So we'll see the nose and the mouth, and it's going to be coming up through the water, maybe to find lunch, maybe just swimming. So you could use black crayon, you could use pencil. I have a black marker here. I'm starting at one edge of the page down here, and I want to think triangle in my head, only it's going to be kind of a rounded off triangle. And then maybe about here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the shark's mouth. So I have an upside down smile, a frown, or a rainbow shape, however you want to think of it. And then another one on top. And my shark is going to have its teeth showing. I don't know if you knew this, but when a great white shark loses a tooth, it has another in a row right behind it, ready to come to the front so it can keep doing its job, munching on seals, finding its dinner. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in 2 nostrils here. And then I'm going to put in an area where there's going to be kind of more of a white belly on the bottom of the shark, by adding a line here, kind of going around by the mouth. Now I'm ready to add my value. And I'm going to go from light to dark using my value scale, only I'm going to do it on my shark. So this is my darkest side. I'm going to start with that because I'm going to pretend like I've got the elephant sitting on my hand. It's very heavy. I'm pressing hard, not so hard to break my crayon. I've got my stand for my iPad under here, so I have to go a little bit slower when I hit that. And then as I come across, I'm going to start pressing less. So instead of an elephant, maybe it's a dog sitting on my hand. Now the dog is just putting its paw on my hand. And as I get over here, maybe I have a tiny mouse sitting on my hand. And then at the very edge, I only have a little ant crawling on my hand. Not my head, hopefully. Oh my goodness. And Mrs. Heckendorf is going to go in ahead and I'm going to blend some blue in with this. So again, going from darker to lighter. So you can see the value change. I'm going to do a little bit of value change on the belly to show that my shark is round instead of flat. Just a little bit here, dark to light. Now, of course, I need the mouth filled in. I'm going to find a nice pink or a red. And I know you're at home and you don't have that pesky art teacher to tell you no blood and guts in your artwork. It's a school rule. I guess if you're at home, I can't really stop you, but I'm only going to color the mouth like this. So there's my value shark, and he of course needs some water and a place to be. We're going to work on that next. Alright, I went ahead and I cut out my shark. You could do this all on one piece of paper. For me, when I'm blending the colors, it's just easier to have my shark be separate. And now this is where he's going to be living. So of course we need the ocean. So up here at the top, I'm going to draw my line across for the top of the water. And then there's going to be some fish around him. So I'm going to grab my crayon bucket. I'm going to be using some paint in a little bit. If you don't have paint, it's fine to fill it in with marker or with crayon, but I happen to have some watercolor paints at home. So here's one little fishy. And I started out with kind of a football shape but left a little mouth opening. Here's a triangle tail. I can add a little back fin and then an eye to this guy. I'm going to have another little fishy over here, so football shape, but I'm leaving one end open for a mouth. Little tail, little side fin. I'm going to add just a few wave lines with crayon. Maybe a sun up in my sky here. In this next step, you're going to see me get out my watercolor paints to paint the sky and the sea, but I'm going to do that in sped up time lapse. All right, my last step here is to take my shark, and I'm going to dot, not a lot, because I don't need a puddle of glue at home if I didn't need it at school, right around the edge. I'm going to make sure that the bottom of the shark touches the bottom of the page, because we wouldn't have a half a shark or just a shark head floating in the water. It needs to look like the rest of him is still down here somewhere. And there he is, headed for the surface. So today we talked about value changing, using the change from light to dark in your artwork to give our shark a realistic shadow to make him look round. One side is light and one side is dark value.